now we're looking ahead because we have a very spicy matchup. There was so much drama coming into this one. Just looking at what rosters might be fielded here for Twisted Mind as they're going up against ENCE. Of course, ENCE, you know, like they are getting that salty rematch. This is the Stage 1 main event finals, which was Boba's break check, blip, 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 going up against Twisted Mind. Twisted Mind actually won that series now. They're coming back, this time as ENCE, and they've been looking real good.
They have been looking real good, and they've been mixing it up a little bit, playing a few different compositions. I mean, especially going into Stage 2, like we're seeing now, we saw a lot of like Ana being played as a backline instead of Lucio and Kiriko. Not quite sure where teams stand on this now, but it does feel like Lucio and Kiriko kind of won out in the scrim since then. So not sure how much Ana we'll see. Maybe on Paris, so it makes sense because of the verticality, all the high ground. Kevster is still going to play the Tracer. So good on this hero. But maybe a bit of a change-up for NC Sports.
All right, and here it is, the Twisted Minds starting lineup. And that's what the big question was heading into this one. Who's actually going to be around to play?
Well.
Lambda on tank. So, yeah, this is an interesting choice. We've been hearing, there's been some rumors on the street, but we cannot confirm or deny. We can confirm they got a DPS player in on tank. Not usually a good sign. Still, though, with the meta being Orisa, you know, I think that is a DM-heavy hero. If Lambda, I mean, it's sort of like variable. Some DPS players have a pretty good tank and have a pretty good understanding and read of the game. Others can get easily lost or, you know, maybe overextend, misuse cooldowns. We can't expect Lambda to have good individual mechanics, and so I think if ENCE does slip up, probably still going to get punished by him. But overall, I think this is not a great sign for Twisted Minds. Just off the rip. We'll see. Maybe they can make some magic happen. I mean, the DPS have been insane for the last tournament, so you know, who knows?
Sometimes there's a bit of a honeymoon phase where like you sub in Taimu as tank or Reaper Hong as tank or Swoosh as tank, and it maybe works for like a game or two, and then it falls out. Well, the problem is you're playing ENCE Esports, which is you know, top 3 team in the region, so.
There's no time for a honeymoon here.
Yeah, also
getting straight to the wedding night, and this one is it. And I honestly, that's also not the order in which marriage works. That's super okay.
So you are cooking. Stop cooking.
Cooking.
The kitchen is on fire.
I do want to see a close game though, because obviously.
In the end, Twisted Minds won last time, so it's not crazy.
Yeah, I mean they have a strong roster. Yes, they had to change some pieces, of course, heading into Stage 2.
That's so much faith.
This is going to be.
That is spicy.
Yeah.
Sorry. That is. Did you know the roster?
No, I did not. Actually, I did pick ENCE though. I did not pick Twisted Mind.
Okay, yeah, I figured worth. You know,
I wanted a close game. I did not say Twisted Mind. I'm not gonna get. That's a no.
It's all good. It's all good.
Joss was next to me. He can confirm that was not my pick.
I can't remember.
This is the bus. You are under the bus.
I literally am living under this bus. You know. Okay,
look, it's on the screen. We can't change it.
It's on the screen. So
me? I think you're crazy. I think ENCE is going to win for sure. No. I do think it's going to be a close match. I think there's potential to be a close match. Honestly, I do think the individual player strength is really good on Twisted Minds. Seeing the roster, though, I am a little bit more worried for them. There's no like experienced Lucio player in with Slay and Sky, like both strong supports, but Lucio's super dominant right now in the meta. Almost everybody's using Lucio, and even if there's a couple maps, you could probably dodge it and have some double flex support comp and make it work. I don't think you're going to dodge the whole series on Lucio. So seeing the roster now, I'm feeling even more confident for ENCE.
Yeah, I went ENCE 3-0. Like I found this out and I was like, this is going to be an absolute stomp. Yeah, what is that game called? The tower thing where like you pull out the Jenga. Look, if Twisted Minds is a Jenga tower, right now it's pretty shaky.
They got half the box out.
Either they replug this Jenga tower or they're in deep trouble. So we'll see how it goes.
This could be the honeymoon phase, though. Like you're talking about.
This could be the honeymoon phase.
That's the Twisted Minds dream. Is this the honeymoon phase and they pop off?
I've already seen it.
Play perfect and hit every shot and you'll win.
Yeah, I think it was Philadelphia Fusion 2021. That was the honeymoon phase with Toby on Lucio. But yeah, I don't know if you can replicate that magic. So I'm looking at Jaws because he was a bit of Fusion head.
Yeah, so. a bit very Fusion head. Also, well, we're not on talking terms.
Yeah, sorry, we're not talking to you yet. I was just literally just looking at you.
Bus, so friendship has ended. Necra, my new best friend, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, Zoe. If Twisted Minds win, you're gonna look like the absolute biggest brain on that desk. But I'm with Johnny on this one. Jaws, I think this could be a 3-0, and I don't know if it's gonna be close. And quite honestly, with the lineup that they have, I don't know if ENCE should make it close.
Yeah. I don't know. The streets were talking, like Jay was saying. And then the streets were talking a lot yesterday night. And then, I don't know, yeah. Very strange roster reveal here for Twisted Minds. Although, anything can happen at this point. Hey, there's still another chance, too, for Twisted Minds to make a glorious comeback. They played ENCE twice in Stage 1 of the main event, and it was one apiece. Obviously, the better game, the victory, the best victory was the win for Twisted Minds, which was a 4-1 in the end. Like, they ended up kind of just walking all over ENCE when they get the rematch, but will that be the same case here? I mean, Des kind of split, obviously, but I think a lot of people, and especially the chat too, voting for ENCE in this scenario. We'll have to wait and see if Labda can show up on the tank, because, like Jake was saying, you're a DM-heavy player, and you end up just winning out in, like, the DM. It's great, but ENCE, they're a well-oiled machine. They can also sub Chasen if they want to as well, to out for Vestola, so there's a lot Twisted Minds can have to deal with here.
But that's definitely why there are so many question marks on this Twisted Minds team. There was already rumors that KSA was going to play the match yesterday, which he did, to help get Twisted Minds a spot at DreamHack Dallas. But after that, they were saying it's going to be Labda in this tank role. And Labda is no stranger to being able to flex on a roster. Actually ended up coming in to play the Baptiste on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia during the Overwatch World Cup. But can that actually translate over to the tank role? Jaws, I know you play like every role under the sun, but you mostly play damage and support. Are there any tanks that you actually feel like would be more easily translated over to if you are a damage player?
Me, I just play the Hog character because Hog is kind of cheese, and I do like playing the cheese pick sometimes. So yeah, I don't know. From personal experience, I'm not sure. I mean, you'd honestly, if you're a DPS player tank in solo queue, it's like I'm just gonna play Hog or like something silly a lot of the time. Something that a lot with like individual value. But something that Twisted Minds have been running a lot, even in the last stage when Mauga was kind of falling out of the meta, is this pick. So Labda's switching to Mauga here. Twisted Minds are very capable and very well versed on the hero and the comp itself. So this makes a lot of sense to me in just kind of comfort for the rest of the team here.
And they even played the Mauga composition earlier on in the group stages to qualify for the main event. So this is a composition that they know how to play, and Labda for sure is gonna know how to fit in on this team, having been a part of this roster for a long time. But out of nowhere, Kai just hits Quartz with the rock?
Yeah, I mean, that's a little rough. A little nade from Kai as well on top. An insta-kill. Oh, turrets. Found turret watch. All good, they found him. Good aim, Kai. That was a really Kovaxed it there. Nice, good stuff. Twisted Minds are going to have a tough job, I think, of getting on people. I mean, Kevster, look, he's got legs. He's running away. That's going to be the big issue. Like, locking someone down with this sim comp is what you ideally want to do. Ideally, it's the Bastion, right? You kind of TP on the Bastion, pressure him out, but it's tough to actually get to the backline or even on top of the front line to begin with. You can see Labda taking a lot of damage on the entry, and Kai refusing to pop turret as well until Twisted Minds make a move.
And Twisted Minds are backing off already. They don't want to take any more damage than they already have on this entrance, and they're just taking so much poke. At this point, too, you're kind of looking at Quartz being able to try to find some type of opening. Wants to find any of these squishier heroes, especially if you take a look at like Masa or Crimso. But Masa, you can't count out this Lucio. Kai again with another nade to finish off Quartz, and that's another stop for this Twisted Minds push.
That is so rough. I mean, you saw the Quartz, like, the idea there was, I'm going to flank, I'm going to hit Railgun, hopefully you can kind of follow it up, but it's real rough when Kai's hitting those kind of nades cross-map. And now with a change from Twisted Minds, they go into the Sigma. This is going to be close to final fight here as well. And of course, they're not going to have this flux either. The lamp comes through, Kai pops the turret form, ends up falling over. That May wall aiding in the kill of the Bastion. Still playing behind this window though are ENCE. And with Vestola being lonesome on the points, Yubi just making use of all this space after the Bastion end up dying. And there we go. Here's the flip, or incoming for Twisted Minds, as Quartz and Labda finish the rest up. So 95% on the board for ENCE.
Started to look really grim, but Twisted Minds had great conversion over Slay's Kitsune Rush. It helped them close the gap onto this ENCE team, especially after they gave up that Symmetra on Yubi. And now they get a chance to play a little bit more aggressive,
Oh,
too.
the forbidden
They
combo.
do have this South barrier. Oh, no!
Oh, Labda ends up going down to the Flux of all things, not even to the Bastion ult. That May Ice Block was luckily there to save UB, but not for long. Everybody kind of crowded around the Ice Block. As soon as he popped out, insta-kill. And with 97 on the board, looking like an ENCE victory here in round number 1. Man, even if it was a little bit dishonorable, the Forbidden combo, the Flux and the Bastion ult, yeah, it's dirty when it lands.
Oh, that's so unlucky. I mean, Twisted Minds, though, they're just up against a huge mountain to climb. Not only are expectations, I think, way lower on this team, knowing that they have had to swap in Labda to play the tank role, but also I think something else that the desk called out that's really important is that Sky is not known for his Lucio. He's been really, really good at the Baptiste, especially during his time on like London Spitfire. He played on a couple of other teams, just EMEA contenders. And at this point too, I think like, well, why not Admiral? I think that is a valid question to ask when Admiral is a strong Lucio player that's sitting on the bench right now. If Twisted Minds want to keep playing the Lucio, is it that Sky has been on this team longer and is a bit more drilled with this composition?
Ooh. Well, Twisted Minds are going to make a swap up here. Looks like ENCE going with almost a full poke comp.
Instantly over to the Sigma.
Yeah, really nice. They make the decision pretty quickly. Unlike last time where it took them a little time, like obviously trying to find rotational kills, but this time they decided pretty quickly that they don't want to mess with that. Kai forcing the Ice Block out of Yubi. It's going to be hard to get on the backline, especially with this Brig as well. 3-point cap for ENCE. Now Twisted Minds just trying to take a position near this point, but Kevster kind of harassing them for the backline with these tri-shots. And those sticky bombs as well. Here's the rotation again. Kai sitting in the disruptor shot, but it's all good because the lamp is there. But a rotation for Twisted Minds will net them a cap on the point. But now ENCE have the high ground control, and you being a little bit of trouble. Actually forces the block and the lamp. That's 2 big cooldowns now used, and Slay, yeah, can't use it to save himself. Ends up getting descended upon by Vestola. ENCE out-rotating Twisted Minds right now. Even though with the Lucio, you think Twisted Minds are more capable of making these big rotations, but when it's just high to low, Lucio doesn't really have the same kind of effect, and that'll be ENCE kind of wiping the floor with Twisted Minds there. Only 17% on the board.
It's kind of what we looked at in that last series too, to call out that Lucio to help reposition against especially an Echo. Like that's kind of what Echo is there for, is to try to like kind of catch some of these off rotations. Lucio can help to be able to get you away from those positions, but there's just too big of a pincer coming through here from ENCE. I mean, that was greedy, an accretion onto the Echo from so far away. Nice
eat as well by Kevster, just walking through that window, helping his team not get insta-killed. Free Flux and about 4%. Might not need it though. That Blizzard, it was a defensive use one too. You saw ENCE try and push into Twisted Minds, and Yubi just throws down Blizzard, but time Snowball landed and ascended and started spitting out the snow. I mean, Kai had already killed 2, and ENCE find a team kill.
And Kai, do we get to see this dishonorable duo again of the grab Flux into the mortar strikes?
It's happening.
Because that's on the table. I wouldn't put it past them.
I'm going to rip the overclock first. It's like Quartz trying to find the head of Crimzo. Here comes the Flux. Here comes the Bastion ult, sound barrier, and lamp used to try and escape. Forbidden combo denied, at least for now. UB scored himself to the point, as well as Twisted Minds actually find this cap. So now it's up to this Flux. Can it land? It does connect with Vestola, but Vestola being kept alive somehow. It was like sub 50 HP by the looks of it, and Labda keeping his team alive on the point, but they're just receiving so much poke damage. Kai ends up falling, but a slow bleed out to the front line from Twisted Minds. There is a lamp onto the side here to help Slay and Quartz try and find some additional kills, but their staying power on the point pretty much 0 as soon as that May and the Sigma ends up falling down. And with 10% to go, ENCE looking like they want to end this one a quick sharp.
It is going to be a round completion, and even though you've got like Sky trying to go around on nice Lucio, you know that they've seen that, the whip shot away. Still able to get there to touch, but Sky goes down immediately.
Well, here comes the dupe again. 2 Sigmas on the field, and all the kills on top. Yeah, ENCE, that is a cap and a round and a map. Starting the series off 1-0. Still questions for Twisted Minds, how they kind of integrating Labda into this tank role, because right now the rotation game for them, using the Malga, is kind of getting outplayed by ENCE, just using Kai on the Bastion, not forcing him to go turret form, and then just mowing them down when they try and make a play.
And then even on the Sigma too, it just felt like Lambda was too cautious to get into the mix. And it's not easy to have to go up against a team that is very well oiled at this point. You know, Gunva's been putting in that legwork to make sure that ENCE is drilled on that team synergy and just being able to perfect those aspects of what the meta requires right now. And if you have a new tank, you also maybe have a shot at swapping in a new support on Twisted Minds. It just feels like those pieces are asynchronous.
Well, we know what Twisted Minds and the roster can do. Like, Quartz and Yubi, kind of the goats of EU when it comes to hit scan, right? Like, it's kind of insane. And some of the big factors that helped them win in the main stage 1 was Yubi's TPs on the SIP. Like, they were just TPing around teams, like, off cooldown. Like, as soon as that TP goes down, they flip, boom, destroy the TP. Okay, we're going to hit another one. Like, Blizzard World, the map, one of the maps that they played in main event stage 1 was just ridiculous. Like, they ignored every single kind of high ground, low ground advantage. Like, they were just flipping the maps on teams over and over again. And it was like, you were just getting knocked unconscious, like a concussion permanently if you're playing against that, because you don't know where they're coming from. But now they're not really able to replicate it, at least on this game type, to be fair. A little bit more difficult. We'll see if they can kind of shore that up as things go on, because not to mention as well, Quartz is just a nutcase on hit scan. Like, Widowmaker is so insane as well, and something that you picked up on the start of the series was how good Quartz has been, even in World Cup as well, just a superstar.
Oh, he's been so good, and it almost feels bad to see him be so quiet in this series, because we know what these DPS on Twisted Minds are really capable of. But then you look on the flip side of things, and I think it's also something where it's not too far-fetched to see, like, Kai and Kevster, of course, be able to go toe-to-toe with that type of damage. But when we take a look at the stats between Vestola and Lambda on Sigma, they don't even compare, and it's hard to see where Twisted Minds are going to find their footing in this series when they just haven't had the practice. Let's not forget, too, that Twisted Minds, a lot of their scrims have been canceled in the last couple of weeks, like, knowing that they've been going through these roster difficulties. So we don't really know how well practiced they are as a unit, and if they can get it together quickly enough in this one match.
Well, we are going to Midtown as our next map. So another map, you can use the sim TPs. You run, you sim TP past the choke point, you go to the big building with the mega pack in. There's got to be a name for that. Bedroom or something? It's got a small bedroom in the top, but you TP there and then just kind of take control of the point. But what is Lambda going to play? Are they going to continue playing maybe the Sigma, but against a very veteran player and a very, very stand-up player, another big player in World Cup as well, Vestola? Is he going to play against, like, in the Sigma 1v1, the Sigma mirror? It seems a little bit unlikely. Maybe going back to the Mauga might be where they really shine here, because those TP plays, they're so used to kind of making them as a squad. But again, like you were mentioning too, lots of integrations in this team, either swapping roles or like brand new players. They might not all be on the same page just yet, but we know how formidable Twisted Minds can be. But on the flip side of things, I mean, ENCE, like, this is their time. They don't want to go down in the finals again. They were looking so good going from the upper bracket finals to the actual finals itself in stage 1 of the main event, and then they lost out 4-1 against Twisted Minds. They are here for revenge against this team. We'll see if they can get it. It's the Twisted Minds map pick as well, going on to Midtown Rose.
Yeah, ENCE are definitely set up to be able to get that revenge on Twisted Minds, delivering those losses to them in main stage 1. And ENCE as well, I think they've done a really great job to pick up their own unique pieces. We aren't going to see the sub now, but they did bring Chase into the roster as a really up-and-coming and budding main tank who was playing on Exoblivione and helped that team find so much success in their own stage 1 main event. And so we did see Chase play a little bit yesterday, but I think, like, when it comes down to if you expect Lab to come out of Sigma or even Lab to come out on the Mauga, Vestola is just so slow, so methodical and meticulous with these rotations, and just cycling through these Sigma cooldowns. It's one of his best heroes. I think it makes a lot of sense to keep him in this roster if ENCE are feeling confident with how this is going to match up into Twisted Minds.
Why are we getting pigeon can? Why? Get the pigeon off my screen
They
right now.
know.
Jesus.
Oh my god, they know.
I shouldn't have said anything, actually. Like, this was a mistake.
You've asked for this.
I've asked for none of this, and I don't appreciate any of it. Those goddamn pigeons. Delete it. Mods, delete the pigeons from the game. All right, ENCE. They're playing the Sigma, like you mentioned, Rose. Same kind of composition here with Kite on the Bastion. Slate and Sky just playing double flex support. So a bit more in their wheelhouse here as Labda jumps over to the Orisa.
Yeah, Sky's very good at the Baptiste. This is a hero that he worked a lot on in order to make sure it was up to par, to make his way into the Overwatch League and just have those top seeds and these top EMEA contenders teams. And Slay is no slouch when it comes to these mechanically gifted flex support roles. So seeing the Zenyatta here is really exciting, and I think this gives more agency over to Slay and Sky to make some bigger plays, knowing that they can just help burst down targets.
All right, Kevster locking it down the point with the help of Masa, who's in the corner right now, just getting rolled, in fact. That shield didn't last too long. Nice double flank there, both from the Tracer and the Zen, but as soon as that kill onto Master ends up going through, you can see ENCE decisively making the decision. We're going to just punish the front line now, because they haven't got Zen. They don't have that Discord on one of us. We can just run at them. Nice pulse bomb on Yubi, but instantly answered by Crimzo, a veteran Baptiste player, knowing to save that lamp, knowing that UB was pretty close to Pulse. So that's that one ultimate gone. However, they do get 33%, or 49, of course. Let's get a Twisted Minds listening, though, as they go for their second attack here.
Yeah. Han siger go.
Jeg har
Hvad siger go? Lad go top left.
Top left, top left.
I'm taking left in a second, UB.
Yeah,
Take left.
Yeah, I'm taking left. Kan du sige right now? Det ping me.
we have Lucy, no more break.
You have warp you? Yeah. Back to this top.
Nice.
Walk. I'm gonna kill Bastion, I'm gonna kill Bastion.
Bastion pushing,
Help me,
Bastion pushing.
can hit me.
I'm one shot.
Take this. Oh, they're all low, they're all low.
Bub one. Help me.
We have warp.
Only Zen heals.
To this, left. Bap this, can you just bap?
Yeah,
No.
I cannot shoot them. Yeah, you have warp. Just got Sigma in a
Tracer
sec.
is coming, okay? Tracer is coming.
Cannot over you anymore, UB. Pushing right side. Take one, exit one.
I didn't kill NTC.
Second HP.
I'm with your cards. Come in, you be. Come in. I'm with you inside. I'm with your cards. It's on a recall.
You're up.
I can window open it.
Second
Get it there.
yeah.
Flux
3-1,
they can. 3-1, they can. 3-1, they can. Corpse, can you go high ground? Use your ult from high ground of angle.
Okay. They're not touching, I think. Don't hit anyone.
Okay, can you
Damn, I mean, Yubi was putting in work there on the Tracer. Just calling out individual kills, trying to punish the Bastion, who was using the window to, again, once more, ENCE kind of jumping onto the backline as soon as one of their backliners die. They try and push on, but Yubi putting in hella damage on the Tracer as they end up capping and now trying to get onto this high ground.
Really good in tandem there. It was really good in tandem, though, the damage from Yubi in conjunction with those Discord orbs from Slay. And it's just helped make these targets way easier for Twisted Minds to get those coveted picks we expect to see from a team like this.
Disengage from ENCE. They use the lamp against that window. Forbidden combo available. Flux on the sidelines here. That damage is instant as well for the Bastion, pretty much. It's pretty close, so I'm not sure this Transcendence is going to help. Actually ends up hitting the BAP. Here comes the Bastion. Mortars. Don't see any kills just yet as the Transcendence does end up ripping. There we go. Okay. Sky down, Yubi to follow as Kev finds the kill on the enemy Tracer. They do manage to isolate Vestola, so maybe they can regain control of this high ground, but looks quite unlikely as Masa... Oh, and the pulse bomb came from Kevster, of course, as he chases down Labda on the Orisa. Yeah, the Forbidden combo going kind of crazy as Twisted Minds invest a lot into that fight. ENCE have an ult advantage here. Only a single window, but it can be enough to stop the overwhelming presence from the Tracer and the Orisa walking up on height.
You would expect that the Transcendence there, as well as the Immortality field, might have been enough to deal with something like that Forbidden combo, but the fact that they have used those and basically everything else in the kitchen sink at this fight and still aren't able to push through, and they just got such a firm grasp of this defense, but Quartz able to weave in a shot there to take out Kai.
Having gets isolated on the low ground there. You can see The sad, crumpled dead body of the Orisa, just cowering in the corner. They were able to just peek over and just fire shots down, insta-kill, and that will be Twisted Minds not able to push either, because Kevster is kind of waiting on the wings, either waiting for someone to push on high ground or waiting for someone like Yubi to touch the point. You can see Kevster instantly rotating as soon as he sees that payload moving. Now Yubi trying to get in there too. Discord Orb, or Harmony Orb, sorry, attached to Yubi, so rather safe on the Tracer if he wants to go for a duel. Quartz trying to line something up too. They have successfully kind of taken high ground here, but Quartz did not expect Kai from around the corner. Just half a second, like 2 frames worth of Kai's hitbox there was showing. And it was enough to kill Quartz. And there goes the lamp as well. These exit kills here are going to be large for ENCE, as there's only a minute to go for Twisted Minds to get onto this second point. Luckily, Rose, they are nearing 5 ultimates, but ENCE didn't invest anything there to get that fight win.
And we saw how that went last time Twisted Minds had those 5 ultimates. They just weren't able to get past that high ground defense that ENCE had. And the fact that they do have answers as well. Oh my god. Yeah, just the 40 seconds left. If you force them to use ultimates now, then they have way less to try to get that over.
Did that lamp not hit them? I saw the Orisa next to the archway. Maybe the land didn't end up landing. Oh, and Yubi ends up going down to a rock as well of Vestola. Really nice play from Vestola, pushing up, forcing window out Twisted Minds. There's a Flux available here. No Forbidden Combo, no Bastion anymore, but can be comboed with this Overclock from Kai in 10. Final chance now for Twisted Minds. They're going to have to touch. Payload has regressed slightly too, so it should be pretty safe for Yubi to do so.
Cortez set up on the high ground, though, to try to get this overclock.
Oh, Masa. Oh, my God. 1 HP on the Lucio, but still manages to survive. Okay, they end up getting the touch. It will be Yubi on there, so it'll be a 4v5 on the high ground right now. We'll see if ENCE wants to send Kai on a little adventure. Labda already using that gold too. There is the Terror Surge, a little bit more sustained, but the beat comes through. Quartz ends up going down. The payload continues to move, but it is Yubi hitting that recall. Pulse goes wide as Yubi's finished off by Masa. One final person left to touch as the Flux used last. Oh, you're sinking back down. How about you rise up yet again? That Flux, it landed, forces the lamp, and there's nothing Sky or Slay can do to help the people from Twisted Minds touch and keep themselves on points, and that'll be ENCE stopping that payload just after that dip, that car wash section. Nice stuff from ENCE, very well paced too, and I like them playing super aggressive as well, Rose.
Yeah, it was so nice to see them try to go touch the spawn doors of Twisted Minds, knowing that there was only a minute left on the clock. They knew that if they were able to stop Twisted Minds there, even though like they might be able to come back out of spawn, they had 9 seconds to get back there to try to touch the cart, and the push just wasn't nearly as cohesive if Twisted Minds had been able to actually like get a couple of breaths in and then try to attack that in the final seconds. So ENCE has just been playing this lights out right now, and there's so much to credit them for being the team that people look at and saying, yeah, this is like second best in the region. And I think that when we get a chance to see like ENCE versus Space Station, that'll even give us a better litmus test of where those two teams stand.
All to play for though, still for Twisted Minds. Still a chance to come back, but it's ever waning, it feels like. Although Yubi now on the Mei, I don't mind the Mei at all actually, especially on this point. It's very easy, especially if Vestola or anybody, if they try to go the alleyway, they can wall off people pretty easily. Can be a nice way to get an isolation kill. I mean, Orisa, Sigma, like tanks with like a lot of CDs, like defensive CDs, can survive these like wall pushes. It's very easy to kind of break a column and then help the tank either escape or just pump them full of heals. There was a long time ago, in fact, where tanks had to fit through 2 pillars. You couldn't just break one and then the tank couldn't get through that. You had to break 2. That was a long time ago. I can't remember when they ended up changing that, but that was absurd. A little silly.
So you just get stuck. Like, the wall goes up behind you, it's a death sentence. Yeah. You can't get away.
So I'm glad it's changed for tank players' sanity. I know some of you don't have many of it left in solo queue sometimes, but after taking a lot of damage from the railgun from Kai, although Kai receives a swift headshot. You can see right now ENCE trying to make a play onto this mega health pack room. Losing one's a bit rough, but they might be able to regain.
Solo's getting stuck here by the Mei, but like, you're just still walking on them. Nice strafe away from the accretion, though.
She gave him frostburn. You see that? That was ridiculous. Yubi just perma holding left click. No right clicks to be seen. She wants to guarantee the slow on the Sigma. All right. Kevs is just going to retreat past the point, just set up for another push.
They're still taking this slow. I appreciate how Twisted Minds are trying to set up on a couple of different angles. Kevster's actually behind the team right now.
Ooh.
Maybe just hoping to get a collapse onto somebody else that's moving in, but we're gonna get a listen in on ENCE and see how they're approaching this attack.
Last one, window,
I can't chase right now. Get out. They're all behind us. I need to force point.
We need to push them.
I can go.
Go. 70, what's my ultimate?
Only Ash. Nice.
Just leave.
No, you just
Kill bomb gap. They just pop, they're gonna have like window.
Keep three.
I can back. I will window come back.
Yeah, window trunk May.
They can't touch.
Okay.
Window trunk May coming up next. Like Flux is like 60, 70 on Flux.
Okay. I wanna hold top left. We need to bait them into our angles and then window. Like I can't really push them right now because they have mail. So we play with card a lot. We have Tracer. I'm up for my Flux. Just we get window whenever. I'm playing the Dutch mail.
If the Sig comes close, force cooldowns, I can window, okay? Just push card down.
I got beat too.
All right, Crimzo calling that. He can window if they end up coming close. Nice call there from Master 2, just guessing Labda's ult charge. Said 60 to 70, and was about 70. So they know what ults are coming up right now. Nice little flank. I mean, Slay is 1 HP, bro.
And the Blizzard?
Okay.
Oh,
well, Slay's
man.
dead. That's rough. Kai takes a couple of headshots as well. Headshot and a body shot. But now Quartz going to have to play a little bit more safe. Oh, this window, it's good. The lamp, is it good enough? Cruiser's lamp does end up going down, but Sky's already dead. And Vestola uses that opportunity to just flux everybody on high ground and then just pop himself behind you. Sound barrier, overclock. I mean, Twisted Minds have a Blizzard and Transcendence. They're going to have to use the Transcendence to touch. Slay, oh, he got booped by the Rock. Oh, and he got booped by Masa. And there's the beat. And there it is. ENCE with a 2-0 lead in the series. Looking like they're going to secure their space up in that upper finals against Space Station Gaming. Twisted Minds just not able to come up with answers.
ENCE is a well-oiled machine, and Twisted Minds, they have a really tough environment that they're working against right now. I think it's hard to hold that team to the same type of expectations that they had coming into the tournament, knowing that they've lost sort of a key piece of their synergy that they had to make it through the groups in such a convincing fashion. But ENCE, it's all coming up for them. I'd be really surprised if we didn't see that just continue course, be a 3-0, and yeah, Twisted Minds, they've got a lot to work on right now.
Yeah, it feels like it. Can they shore up those cracks going into Esperanza? I mean, Yubi specifically on this point. Like, look at the tracking too, just so clean. Very nice stuff from Yubi, just calling kills and saying who's putting pressure on, and then coming up with a lot of value, only having the Discord Orb as well. They only have the Zen heals there to make sure Yubi stays in it. Won it, basically, for the team on that first point. But overwhelming amount of ults coming through from ENCE, and being able to, as Vestola, just flux from the high ground and then push himself over onto the enemy height and just sit behind them. Really nice stuff coming out from ENCE. Don't really expect anything less, right? I mean, this, like you mentioned, Rose, an extremely well-oiled team that has been at the top of EMEA and will continue to be so by the looks of things. And it looks like the lamp too, I just wanted to point out, it's a little bit too far forward, so rather unlucky there coming through from Twisted Minds. Maybe they survive if they all hit the lamp, and then they walk away with a few battle scars maybe. But there's some stats on your screen. Map number 3 coming up soon in Esperanza. But yeah, I mean, only one picture really be told there is domination from ENCE thus far.
I think it's so hard too, because like, we're not individually talking about these players on Twisted Minds not being able to show up and prove themselves. We're looking at it as a conglomerate of this meta requiring you to have great team synergy, being on the same page as each other. And it's so hard to actually get that drilled together if you haven't had that same type of practice as a team like ENCE, as a team like Space Station. And so it's going to be tough to hold a candle to a team like this. ENCE, they've just been together for way longer, and that's showing here.
It really is. I mean, what can Twisted Minds do on this next map? I want to see Yubi still on the Tracer, maybe. Using the Sim and the Mei has been very beneficial for the team in the past, but we'll have to wait and see what they end up bringing out as we load into the game in just a mere moment. But ENCE, if they close this one out 3-0, I mean, even the deaths, like, it was 3-2, 3-2. I think Johnny had a 3-0, I think. Or did he have a 3-2? Can't remember. I think Jake and Zoe had a 3-2.
He had 3-0.
Right, yeah, and then Jake had ENCE and then Zoe. My bad, Zoe. I can't remember. Like, I don't know if it was... I don't know who you said. It's my bad. It's my bad. But Zoe, I know, had a 3-2 for Twisted Minds and then ENCE for Jake. But, yeah, I mean, it's looking like a 3-0. Johnny's looking pretty smug, I'd imagine, in the green room right now as we load into Esperanza. What would you like to see from Twisted Minds? What do you think can really be built upon here? Because with no substitutions from ENCE, it's probably going to be Vestola, probably on the Sig again, if I had to guess. Or on the D.Va.
Yeah, I think the Sigma makes sense. The Sigma is one of, if not the best hero that Vestola has, and has been able to bring that to the table and so many of the top teams in EMEA contenders. So it's great to be able to see him show up to prove that worth and to show everybody why that he's just the best Sigma in EMEA. But I think like it's hard to put a specific finger on what Twisted Minds could do to really get themselves back into this. We are going to see... this is crazy. I was going to say maybe a sub is what they need, but like Yubi switching to tank?
Yubi's like, I got this, Chief. Don't worry. Labda in DPS. Yubi to tank. Okay. We know all three of them extremely good DPS players. So... what can you bring to the table that Labda doesn't on tank? That is the question. And that's the question we'll get answers to in just a moment. Okay. What an interesting series.
I don't know. Maybe Yubi has played tank more. Like, Labda hasn't played any. So even just an ounce of tank experience coming out from Yubi could be a big difference maker here. Especially knowing that Yubi is so good at Symmetra, so good at Tracer. You know that he's very good at consistently being able to cycle through cooldowns on either of those heroes because they require those to be pretty frame perfect, right?
Right.
So Orisa could be it. Like, you're still doing an enormous amount of damage, even though things look a little different. Spear, you're still getting projectiles as you would on something like Symmetra. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think
I'm trying here, man.
I think Labda too. It's quite common to play Echo on this map, and Labda's an extremely proficient Echo, one of his best heroes, right? So it kind of makes sense in that regard. Plus, I was also thinking maybe it's a bit of a mental thing too. Labda's lost a couple of tank games in a row at this point. Maybe someone new, and maybe Yubi can get it working. But unfortunately, it's Labda that ends up going down first to a Spear of Vestola.
At this point, you've nothing to lose if you're Twisted Minds and everything to gain. So it could be just the mental reset of trying somebody else on a different role in the tank position and maybe, setting Labda up for a bit more success on this Echo. The Echo's nice because we have seen this Echo be very dominant in a lot of these front-to-back matchups where maybe you're able to chunk down the tank, but Masa is still in this Lucio role, so it's going to make it harder for Labda to be able to land those bigger skills onto the rest of ENCE.
Well, Kevster was moving the bot there. And it will be Yubi just checking him, making sure he isn't getting away with any funny business. Shot charged up for Quartz, and Kai knows better than to peek him. Especially when he's taking a fair amount of damage. Nice little boot there from Masa. Almost got Quartz off the edge. That railgun, it landed, but unfortunately, Vestola was golden at the time. Quartz having to eject from the high ground as they fall to low, and here comes the rush on high. There's just no way Yubi survives this. Golden, it doesn't matter. It's just too much damage. Nicely placed too. A lot of that rush ended up on the floor as well. Okay. All right, okay, we're back. All right, all good. And I'm going to be able to get the checkpoint.
Huge stagger.
Twisted Minds, staggering themselves a little bit. 0 on the board.
It's just a steamroll at this point. ENCE, they have the momentum, they have the ultimates, they are playing so aggressive.
They can't even push with the rush. They got to deal with this high noon. That's a really good response.
Great disengage from Masa.
Yeah. Speeding away that high noon, and yeah, good luck getting on top of us. There's no shot you want to fight that. Copy for Labda. See if you can get a big... you can copy a Rich, you can copy a lot of things here, to be fair. have a Tracer, have the dangerous trio in Echo, Soj, and Tracer on the board if you really want. Oh, sorry, the Echo will be duped. What am I talking about? Double Orisa will do, though. There you go. Vestola bringing everybody together. My word, what's more scary than one Orisa? It's two of them going golden near front line. Well, Quartz under a little bit of pressure. Nice stick from Kevster. No Suzu to be found from Soleil. And that duplication from Labda not finding any purchase either. Just a slow bleed out now. As you can see, they're on the flank currently. I mean, Sky and Labda can try and find like an off angle, a little pick here, but I mean, Slay and Yubi are just caught and isolated on the front lines. Just ENCE just kind of parting the seas, as it were, and Twisted Minds just crashing before the tide.
And ENCE have this Kitsune rush as well to lay over the point. Vestola has been doing a great job of being able to get aggressive in front of Twisted Minds. I think it's also a little bit easier when you can tell that Yubi's playing just a little bit more cautiously with those cooldowns. Already haven't used the Spear Spin, so Kitsune Rush is perfect.
All right, Quartz on the cast now. Here comes the return rush, but Kevs has already found Labda. I mean, it's on the stairs here. Quartz has got a good angle to start firing shots down range, but the bot is swiftly moving away from them, and they're going to force to rotate around to this final corner. Will ENCE get... I mean, this might be our second full cap of the day. A full cap to 0, mind you. Of course, that was Space Station.
Looking like it.
In our last series. High noon.
High as the Deadeye too. Are we going to pop it?
There is the Terror Surge. Oh, Quartz. You know you're dead in that situation too. You're just like so sad, just walking away. Just like, please. Just hoping, praying to RNG. All right, Kev, Vestola, Crimzo coming up with kills. I think this might just be it for Twisted Minds. This thing come up with something crazy. I mean, Lab just got copy in 10. It's doable. Maybe.
Yeah, but you gotta get out of spawn too and just be in a position to use it. And everybody's getting so low already as they get out of spawn.
Oh, smart disengage. Oh, Kai down. Okay, there you go.
Nice pick.
Any punishes? Everybody's too quick.
All right, well, they've already gotten job 1 done. Get out of spawn. They have the duplicate from Labda, so you could copy the Orisa again if you want to. Crimson got really low in that position as well, so Twisted Minds, they want to try to push an advantage here.
Well, there's the copy. Oh, Slay! Thought he was rather sneaky, rather sly, getting away on that high ground and slipping back down to earth. Double Terror Surge from Twisted Minds used in that fight. And Marsa hits the sound barrier, and they end up winning it. It's going to be a tough fight for ENCE, though. Again, I mean, you're still fighting into Twisted Minds hitting the spawn. Sound barrier from Sky, too. Should be enough enough survivability, you'd imagine, for the rush, if they need to use it.
Yeah, but like Deadeye, you could zone. Kevster could just go land a pulse bomb somewhere, and Kitsune rush first too.
All right, there's the beat. Kai backing up a little bit. Deadeye down this straight is going to be rather scary, and Slay's already dead to Kevster in the back line. Kevs gets another pulse. Easy stuff from ENCE. Easy for ENCE. 142 meters, a full cap versus 0 meters of Twisted Minds. That is our second of the day, as ENCE just clean up the series 3-0 as they move to the upper bracket finals versus Space Station. My word, that was pretty one-sided when it came down to it.
I think that's something you should come to expect, though, out of ENCE, especially with what was being said about the roster changes heading into this. Johnny was right on the money, and if we had seen anything different, I think it's like, okay, credit to Twisted Minds. Maybe it's just going to be a bit better prospects as we head into the rest of the main event. But ENCE, knowing what we knew, they should get this 3-0, and it was a very dominant one at that.
And with this 3-0, this locks in ENCE for a spot at Dallas. So they don't even have to win. They would love to, but they don't have to now. They've got that spot in Dallas, in our land.
Money.
Later on, the prize money, of course, as well. There's circuit points ever so valuable, so we'll see them and Space Station Gaming. We're going to jump over to the desk. Johnny, I'd imagine, like I said before, probably looking rather smug, that 3-0 pred.
Yeah, just like we all predicted. This was ENCE's to win the final.
I didn't wait to see the roster. You know, I took a
We
risk.
all predicted. Yeah.
Did you actually know about the, like, for real know about
No, not for real,
issues?
But there
Just
seemed to
whispers
be.
in the wind?
There was a whiff of something.
There was something stinky.
Yeah, I'll go with 3-0. Well, also because ENCE is that good. But look, it'd be a bit disingenuous of us to just like, oh, what a shame that from Twisted Minds. I mean, in reality, they had, you know, a damaged player, 2 damaged players play tank in the series. It's going to be an uphill battle. So this is not Twisted Minds really presented with the opportunity to put their best foot forward. So, you know, it's like they're having a wide receiver play quarterback.
I will say though,
Because
like
tank is quarterback, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely understood that sports reference. Thank you so much. Johnny, Jake, what else is there to say about this match?
I mean, if there is a time you're going to figure out your drama, it's going to be to beat your nemesis team, right? And there's some bad blood between these teams, right? There is some trash talk. I think in like, was it the groups when ENCE won and Twisted Minds like, we're not even trying or we don't even care or whatever. Like, and because of course Twisted Minds won that grand finals last time. I feel like this is the match, maybe of all the matches, you want to win the most as Twisted Minds. And the fact that you can't even pull it together, and I mean, this was hopeless. This is like one of the hardest stomps we've seen. Like, this is a huge disappointment from Twisted Minds. And as much as we can say, yeah, it is the roster, right? Like, clearly there's a tank problem there, and you know, they don't have their Lucio either. So they're like trying to run double flex support a little bit more. And you know, there's a little glimmers of hope. They're good individual players on Twisted Minds, but this match was extremely one-sided. I mean, this was like a 99-1 type match, and that's just not what we expected out of the team who was the champion last stage.
Yeah. So KSA did play yesterday in the first elimination match. So that also brings into the question, like, how much time have you had to scrim with Lambda or UBS, your new tank? Twisted Minds did put out a statement that KSA won't return for the rest of the stage. So at least you know going into the lower bracket that you won't have your tank player, and so one of those pickers will have to pick up the slack.
But then why even put in
Vistola's
KSA
KD is
yesterday?
10.
They could have just. I mean, these numbers mean nothing considering how the game went.
Well, but I mean, I just looked at that stat card. I was like, wait, Vistola only got 10 elims? That's so low. And then I'm like, wait, no, that's just KD. It's just 10. What?
Yeah.
I mean, all right. To be fair, like it's an easy game maybe for Vistola, but this is showing the difference between a player like Vistola and anybody who's below the elite level on tank. Right, I'm sure, like, you know, Yubi and Lambda are good players. This is
no.
I love this. No, this is what you should always do. If somebody emotes or stops moving, just delay them. Like, this is so bad. I mean, honestly, that moment there, it's like game over.